What's up, yo? What's up, Blue Jay fans?
What's up? What's up?
Check 1, 2.
Well, this will be an interesting show.
So we have nothing prepared.
No.
But we have a bunch of new gear.
Yeah, but we like to talk. Yeah, and we wanted to show off our new gear.
Yeah,
So the production quality is going up. Things are getting better.
The revenue money's coming in.
Yeah. Oh, the sponsorship is out of this world. So far, we're sponsored by shitty diapers.
Pampers.
Yeah. Pampers. When
All
your
right.
podcast so far is just shit.
Let's get rid of this. There we go.
But anyway, I mean, fuck, we love to talk the Blue Jays, and we're just going to spout some shit off, and we do have a nice interview lined up at the end of the show.
Yeah, guys, I caught up with Jesse Goldberg-Strassler. He is the play-by-play announcer for the Lansing Lugnuts. Quite an interesting cat. Does 144 games a year with them, so he knows his team in and out. So definitely it was a good interview. He was kind enough to sit down for us for about 20 minutes or so. And was very informative, gave me a good idea of what to expect coming up down in the low A in Lansing.
And that's following the good interview that you did with Ben Wagner.
Yes, another good interview was Ben Wagner. He is the AAA affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays. He is for the Buffalo Bisons. Quote unquote, he's the voice of the Buffalo Bisons.
Yeah.
And you could tell, if you were actually to watch the interview, he has that voice.
Yeah. Well, you asked him at the end to do the call.
No, yeah.
I was hoping he'd take you up on it. But...
No, he wouldn't do it.
All right. Well, let's play along. Let's hear your call.
My call.
Yeah. I'll do one and you do one.
All right. Okay, give me the scenario.
All right. So it's Blue Jays. Bases loaded. No. One runner on first. Up to bat. Tony Fernandez hits a triple into the gap.
All right, Tony Fernandez steps in the dish. It's a liner in the gap. It goes to the wall. He's rounding first, heading to second. The runner scores, ties the game. Fernandez heading to third, head first slide. He's safe.
You know what? That was the fastest fucking runner that scored.
He was. Tony Fernandez was never that fast. I should have used Vince Coleman or something like that. Devon White.
Tony had just got to first, and the runner had scored already, and he was only on first.
I can't believe we're recording this.
Yeah. All right, here's mine. Give me a scenario.
All right, so you got runners on second and third. You're down
runners
by 3.
on second and third.
Down by 3.
Down by 3.
And up steps Josh Tolley.
I'm going to do this in 1950s.
Okay.
There's 2 men on base here at lovely Sky Dome.
As I'm firing up a lucky strike.
Yes. You can see the people in the stands. They're unusually happy for today. The excitement is at a roarish level. Runners on second and third. The go-ahead run at the plate. Up steps young Josh Tolley from New Mexico, Hasfada. And here's the pitch, a fastball down the middle. It's a swing and a miss.
That got right loud in my headphones all of a sudden.
Now, wait a minute. 1 strike on the batter. Here's the next pitch. It's a crack to the outfield. You can see the center fielder tracking it down. He's almost got it. He's there at the wall. He jumps. It's off the wall. The 1 run scores. 2 run scores. Josh Tolley is coming to third. That ball is overthrown to third, and now coming home, he's going to play at the plate. He's safe. What do you think of that?
That
was aggressive.
I didn't hear a thing. I lost my sound. All this new equipment.
I broke your headphones.
You broke the internet.
Anyway, he didn't take you up on it.
No, he didn't. But he was.
But you can see why he didn't, because he's a great commentator.
He did, and he said it's a heat of the passion type of the moment or whatever kind of thing. So I can understand why he didn't.
It was a good interview.
It was. Interview. Yeah, you guys should check that out. It's actually on our website there, under Jay Talking under YouTube. So just look up Jay Talking Blue Jay podcast or what have you.
So I'm just fucking looking at the internet here, and your man who you love to hate, R.A. Dickey, has a no-hitter through 4.
Yeah, well, we all know that's not going to
Jays lead 3-1.
He can only go 5 or 6 innings
Who's
until they start.
doing what here? So Encarnacion has a 2-run shot.
Yeah, so it's 3-1 right now. 5 hits for the Jays. No hits for Boston. 1 error for Boston. They scored a run. Looks like it's a walk and a Josh Tolley pass ball, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Josh Tolley, the personal catcher. What do you think of the personal catcher thing?
Oh, he's awful, man. He's awful.
Yeah, but is it an improvement over what the fuck Martin's doing?
No, and here's actually, it's funny that you're bringing this up. I brought this up in actually one of our articles at BlueJayTalking.com. What is the use of Russell Martin getting paid $18 million per season? What I don't understand is if he can't catch Estrada last year, where they had Deanna Navarro.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And they had Tolley catching fucking R.A. Dickey. So that leaves us, he's catching 3 pitchers a week Like, is this what you're paying $18 million for?
Is he not back catching Estrada for the most part? Martin?
Yeah, he is. He's the only other option.
Yeah.
Like, the only other option we have is, and actually, again, you're going to want to hear the interview with Ben Wagner, because he talks about A.J. Jimenez and how much of an improvement he's made, and how he's actually really impressed with his work ethic, his attitude. He's coming to the ballpark first. He's leaving last. I mean, I guess he's putting in the work. And again, if you watch the interview, he goes on in depth about him. In fact, he says it's probably the guy that's under the radar. And again, we're going to need him.
Well, he was a kind of a hot... I've been watching him for a few years. He was kind of a hot catching prospect for a while. Mainly, I think, because of his defense.
Yeah.
And then he kind of
But he did come up,
a
remember
little
at the
bit,
beginning of
and
the year, he came up with Arnold Leon, and they both just stank it up bad. Like, do you remember?
in spring training? Or
No, this is at the beginning of the season. Arnold Leon came into one game, blew it, and then he was gone. A.J. Jimenez, he actually...
He was up for a game?
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
And Arnold Leon also played one game as a Blue Jay, and then he gets sent to Korea, I believe, or Japan. That's where he is now.
Listen, do you remember Eric Thames? Not to throw off topic, but
actually,
he is fucking crushing it in fucking Korea, man. He's like a man-child.
I can't remember what they traded away. I remember I used to really like him. They drafted him pretty high, too, and then they just let him
walked,
go.
Yeah. He was a muscly fucker.
He was, yeah. Well, it just reminds me of Glenn Allen Hill.
Yeah.
Speaking of old school guys, we're actually just going to take you for a trip back just to go see some of the old jerseys the Jays used to have. Jesse Barfield on Twitter was talking about how much he loved the teal,
the blue baby
jersey.
Blue, yeah.
And Josh Donaldson actually reiterated saying he'd love to keep playing on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look back, right as far back as the 70s, at the old Jays jerseys. Just take a quick look and just give us your opinion if you can.
It would be interesting to see if Josh Donaldson has the pull to actually bring the jerseys back. If the team would say, "Oh fuck, you're Josh Donaldson," yeah, we'll bring those jerseys back.
The old teal jerseys.
I would love to see them. I'd love that. I love that era. The and the Blue Jays hat with the white on the front, the blue and the black.
I just ordered actually a very cool hat. I wish I could show you a picture of it, but it's actually a great hat.
What did you think of the black jerseys they had?
I didn't like them. One's at Roy Halladay. Actually, I got a picture of Roy Halladay over there. That's him and the old black ones. I wasn't a big fan of them. But
what are your favorite era that jumps to your mind? I can't picture a lot of them, off the top of my head, but I know I love the baby blues.
I do. It's hard to remember this. I do like the baby blues. I didn't like how the fact that they weren't button-ups. They were always pullovers. And I'm a big fan of the button-up jersey, so...
And you're a stirrups or a long pant guy?
I like the long pant or the high dark sock. I'm one of those fans, so...
Well, I was both.
Yeah, hold on. I'm just trying to find that. I lost that website.
Guy can't talk and look at shit at the same time.
Stop it.
I don't know, but I might just be nostalgic for the late 80s and 90s. I mean, maybe it's a shit ugly uniform. I don't know.
Oh, they are. They're dated. Hey, actually, here it is here.
I know I saw a couple guys on Twitter respond in both. Some loved it, some hated it, but... I would like to see the throwback. I don't get the fucking camouflage ones myself.
Oh, that's stupid. That's for Memorial Day, though. That's the only that's the thing they do. But well, anyway, I lost the website.
Yeah. But you can watch us flip through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unscripted, people.
Yes.
Unscripted.
Where'd it go?
Yeah. You should bring up some text messages and let people read that shit. Fuck it.
Okay, keep going. You can keep talking. I'll find it.
Well, now I don't know what the fuck to talk about. I was looking to have some images.
You had that website, didn't you?
Yeah, but if the fucking... I don't know what the fuck... I think it was the Yahoo Sports shut down my what the fuck you call this, internet? It froze up on me.
Your computer. It's a brand new computer.
Yeah. My favorite unis. I like the baby. Like I say though, I think I'm just nostalgic. I like the baby blues. I like the white over gray. I like the white. I like the old.
Like that one?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that more than I like that one over there, the gray one. Oh, you can't see them here, but over the dark gray.
I like the accent. The accents on that one. It kind of glows almost.
Yeah.
That's when I go like those. But
that Jays logo that you have on the wall, where it says Jays, I don't know if I ever became a fan of that.
That's the black ones. Well, it's just that the white's the white jersey.
Yeah.
That's all. All right.
I don't know.
Yeah. What the
Fuck. Don't worry about it,
Here
man.
they are. Here, actually. Yeah, here it is. So here, these are basically the logos that we've had over the years. So in the 70s, it's like we reverted back to it. Here it is here, okay. So in 77, the old baby blues, and they went to a white, then back to the baby blues, and they turned to the gray. And then they went just all crazy. They started adding red.
They got pretty fucking... Do you like the Toronto across the chest or the Blue Jays?
This one here was my least favorite of all. This one right here. Not a fan.
Oh, yeah.
That was weak.
Yeah, I remember that. That was in the Halliday days.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the black one that you're referring to is right...
Because you know what I find? Like, even when I look at old Milwaukee Brewers, I just like the old shit, man.
I love the Milwaukee Brewers' old logo.
Yeah,
And if you guys ever knew what it was, here, I'll pull that up real fast. But
it was a glove or something.
It was a glove with a baseball.
Yeah,
but it was the M and the B, right? It
I
was
remember
such
those
a
days.
Beautiful logo.
Yeah. Ben Ogilvy, Robin Yount.
Yes, Paul Molitor.
Al Oliver, did he play for them, or was it just the Jays? I think he...
Al Oliver, no.
Ben
I think
Ogilvy
wasn't he a Seattle Mariner, wasn't he?
For first base.
I think he was a Seattle Mariner, wasn't he?
Al Oliver?
Yeah.
I don't recall.
I'm thinking of Jeffrey Leonard.
He was a Blue Jay for a
Yeah,
short
here it is
time,
here,
but-
guys. Look at this. This is probably the coolest logo you're going to find.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, that's really a nice logo. Like, the M and the B, like that's like a baseball glove.
You know, that's fucking hilarious. I've never even noticed that was an M and a B.
Oh, you never what?
No.
That's what the whole fucking thing is.
No, I know.
It's a baseball glove with a ball in it.
Well,
that's what the whole. That's what
why
it
I'm
is.
stupid.
Milwaukee. 5 years in high school.
Yeah. Did you get through in 5?
4.
4.
Yeah, it took me 4. Here I am laughing at
what?
you.
Yeah, but how did you do that? Because we.
I took grade 9 math and grade 10.
Did you really?
I did. Yeah.
I got. I still have my transcripts. This is off topic, but that's why it's unscripted. My first year of math in grade 10, I got a 7. My second year, I got a 13. And then I finally passed my third year. I got a 51.
Jesus.
And I'm proud of that.
See, that's a given 51. That's like, Jesus.
Yeah, get this fucking guy out of here.
Just go already.
Yeah. Well, that's because I was more tuned into baseball.
That's right. And that's what we're here to please you.
Yeah. So, tell me what you're thinking about the Blue Jays playing a little bit better now. We're 29-26. We're 2 back of Baltimore, 4 back of the Red Sox.
So nobody can say that Devon Travis is not a spark plug for this team. This team has gone on a tear since he's arrived. Even though he's not hitting, 260 or whatever it is, he's still been a spark plug. He's been the guy that's been kind of changed the whole momentum of this team, in my opinion. It just seems kind of odd that all of a sudden they just start winning games. And sure, they're not winning games against quality opponents. But tonight, as you're seeing Dickey right now and the Blue Jays right now handling a very quality opponent, I'm telling you, the cream of the crop this year is Boston's offense. They are what the Jays were last year.
Yeah.
And another team you got to look out for is also Baltimore. If any of these teams pick up some pitching, Blue Jays are in trouble.
The only knock on the Red Sox is their pitching. Yeah.
No pitching. They got David Price and then nothing behind him.
Yeah.
Clay Buchholz is I don't know what happened to him. He was a guy that I was.
Yeah,
I used to think he was.
He would dominate.
He did. He had actually 2 years of just domination. Then he seemed to have a lot of injuries, and then, now it's just now he's just a problem child. 6 ERA.
Well, he's in the pen.
Yeah.
Now they send him to the pen.
And they have Stephen Wright, another like a knuckleballer. Again, these knuckleball guys aren't successful in the American League, and for some reason, teams keep going back to that.
Now, David Price, despite his ERA, has pitched fairly well. He's 7-1.
Yeah, his ERA is like 5.8, but he's 7 and wins, 1 loss.
Leading the league in strikeouts. His WHIP is down to a low 1.2.
You got to expect that playing in Boston, though. I mean, as a pitcher choose to play in Boston, it's almost career suicide.
That Alexander Bogarts, holy fuck.
Yeah, that kid's crazy.
Man. Jesus
kid's nuts.
Christ. Well, yeah, like they have a killer offense.
Yeah, Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, Jackie Bradley Jr., David Ortiz.
But do you think they can go without the pitching all season?
Dude, they have the bullets in the fucking chamber to pick up pitching for the fucking after the All-Star break to make a run. Like, they have everything you can need. They have everything the Jays had last year.
Yeah.
They can unload their fucking minor leagues and seriously put together a contender, especially for a team like, that's going to be losing some top-notch pitching, like guys like Jose Fernandez and, guys that are going to be walking eventually because Miami won't pay them. I mean, that's just one good example. He's looking for a home. He's pitching for a contract, too, so...
How shitty would it be to be a fan of Miami?
Yeah, but imagine being a fan of Boston with this offense. Like, dude, they're scoring 8 runs a game, 7 runs a game or something ridiculous. So.
Well, 5 something, but they're blowing away. They did, like you just said, they're doing what the Blue Jays did last year. They're like almost a run ahead of everybody else a game.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Bogarts, 348.
Yeah, 5 home runs in 2 days.
I don't know if he still has his hit streak going. It was a 23 gamers.
Yeah,
or
no, it's
something.
28. 28
Shortstop ran his hitting streak to 26 games.
I am glad to see
today
Jackie Bradley Jr., though, was stopped by Toronto.
Yeah.
His hitting streak. That was good to see.
He was at 29 or something?
29 games, yeah. Now, Bogarts is at that now. Like I said, he had 5 home runs in 2 days. 3
Bogarts
one
hit
game, 2 the
320
next.
Last year.
But you would know, you don't have cable.
No, I make all this shit without watching a single game.
All his game recaps are like done just off the internet. He has no cable.
And you know what? I usually just get caught up on my notes in the last half hour of the game. I don't even pay attention to the game.
It's quite comical.
Yeah, but hey, so far I'm pulling it off.
We were actually joking when we were setting all this shit up that we should have sunglasses on, a la Bob McCowan.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jesus.
But okay, so as I was saying in my last little rant, I like the pitching staff. It's solid. The starting staff. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's many worries there. I know you have a problem with Dickey. I like him as a 5-starter. But forget him for a minute. The top 4 are very good.
Yeah, we have two. I'm going to say this, and I don't exactly mean it. Excuse me, but we have 2 aces.
Yeah.
J.A. Happ and Marco Estrada. Jesus.
Coming into this game, our staff ERA, the starters, was 370, 358, 7th overall.
I was going to say, that's top 10. That's where if we sit in the top 10, we're doing good.
We'll stay there.
Our offense is coming around. Eventually, we're going to have guys like Russell Martin and Tulowitzki. What the hell's going on with those 2?
And that's 7th overall in MLB.
Yeah.
Now, the bullpen is 374, which isn't terrible. But that is not... Okay, so if they can stick at 374, to me that's fine. It's borderline fine to get you through the season. But you don't want to fucking look at Gavin Floyd in the playoffs in the 8th spot.
Yeah, really.
Jesse Chavez in the 8th inning.
Well, we have Biagini. That guy's coming out of nowhere.
He is. But you know
one of
how
the
I
best
feel
Rule
about
5
rookies.
pickups, actually, in the history of baseball. Actually, here's a question for you. Do you know who was the very best? Who would be the
Rule
top
5?
Rule 5 guy?
Shit, I don't know.
Roberto Clemente was a Rule
really?
5
Yeah?
pickup. Yeah. But best Rule 5 pickup ever in
Wow.
the history of the game.
So the Jays' offense is a mixed bag of shit. It's very interesting to look at, and this is where maybe I should pay a little more attention to advanced stats, which I just really don't give a fuck about because
Get out your calculators.
yeah, because I don't. I just think there's enough info in OPS, OBP, slugging, total bases, things like that to put together just as good of a picture of what the person's doing. But anyway, the Jays they have now the 13th best offense overall, and they're two runs away from having the 11th best offense.
I would never have guessed that.
Me neither. So what they're doing very well in top 10, and this is in MLB, walks, they're 6th overall.
Yeah, we knew that. Walks.
Home runs, they're 7th overall. Total bases, they're 9th overall.
Number 1 in pass balls.
Extra base hits, they're 8th overall.
Wow, I wouldn't expect that either.
This is definitely a fly ball team. They're 3rd overall in fly balls, 24th overall in ground balls. So they put the ball in the air. But they're 17th in OPS.
Jesus, yeah.
17th in OBP.
Which is strange because they're getting lots of walks, but they're not getting lots of hits. That's why that would explain why Donaldson's hitting 250. Well, Batista's hitting 230.
Well, like you say, 20th overall in batting average, 241.
So what we're saying is, if it's not a home run, it's an out.
But so, well, the question is,
or even worse, a strikeout, which is probably the worst thing you can do.
And they have the 6th highest strikeout in the majors.
Yeah, see, that's a problem.
I never know where I stood on strikeouts because an out's an out and out.
No,
it's not a double play.
Definitely not. Let me explain why. It's not an out. And a strikeout is a non-advancement of a base runner if there's a guy on base. It's an out. And it's not a productive out. It's an out. It's probably the least productive. Oh, if you're not moving guys along and playing small ball, you're not playing the game of baseball fundamentally correct, right? So.
But the question is, does it make up for it on the other end that you're not grounding into a double play?
Yeah, well.
It's hard to know
Yeah, I will listen. I'll always stick by this fact that a strikeout is the least productive out you can have in baseball.
So let's think about this for a minute. So let's examine how important then. So OPS 17th, OBP 17th, slugging 15th, average 20th, but they're the 13th overall offense.
Yeah,
close to 11th overall. And is that just because they're 8th in doubles, they're 7th in home runs, they're 9th in total bases?
Well, that's the only way to
they're
explain
6th
that.
in walks.
That's the only way you can explain that.
So they're doing it in other ways, obviously.
They're doing it in extra bases, but they're not doing it like to get just on base. Like, you know what I mean? If they're not walking or hitting a home run, they're out.
And they don't sacrifice at all, do they?
No, John Gibbons does not play any kind of small ball whatsoever. I mean, Kevin Pillar is a guy that should be stealing 20 bags, 25 bags a year.
Yeah.
And he's got 3? 4?
Oh, he's got 6, but his other numbers are awful. He's got a 640 OPS.
What is the stolen bases? What is, like, I bet you we're almost last.
They're 22nd overall in steals.
So that would explain. That's another problem.
But we have the 6th best stolen base percentage at 75% of the bags.
So we're saying of the 6 bags we stole, we got 5 of them.
So they have 18 steals.
18 guys.
And they've been caught
29
6
and
times.
26. So what's that? That's 30.
What are you adding up?
65 games into the season. They have 15 stolen bases.
18.
8. So okay.
They're 22nd overall in the majors, but they're 6th overall in stolen base percentage. So that tells me run fucking more.
Yeah,
because you're doing a good job running.
Exactly. I fully agree. I mean, not only that, but it's it increases productivity, or even worse. I mean,
puts pressure on the D.
Even better, maybe more hit and run.
Yeah.
But again, like, I've seen Gibbons do some really weird stuff, like hit and runs on 2-2 counts, and just strange stuff. And I can kind of see the concept of maybe trying to think outside the box. But
I would say the offense has gotten stagnant, but I don't watch any baseball.
Yeah.
So I don't.
He doesn't have cable.
All I have to go by is Yahoo Sports.
Yeah, so they'll give it to you the proper way, at least.
How about fucking Big Pappy?
That guy's retiring? This guy's leaving baseball at the end of the year?
Well, I don't know if you saw the tweet I put out about the oldest RBI guy. Cap Anson, at 39 years old, is the oldest player to ever lead the league in majors and RBIs.
Wow.
At 39, and Pappy's leading the majors, 40, and he's 41.
Yeah, 41.
So,
and actually, he's got, 40, how many RBIs?
And he's hitting like 335.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely not a guy that's slowing down. I'd be surprised if he actually does retire, if they don't, kind of just ask him to stay.
Well, I'd be surprised if he keeps that up, to be honest.
Well, he
can't keep that
he's
pace
a DH,
at a
man.
fucking...
He's not playing the field.
Yeah, but he's been a DH all his fat life.
Yeah. He's probably
I don't mean to disparage him, but
the most productive fat person.
Yeah, he is a very incredible fat person.
Well, guys, that's probably got to wrap it up. We didn't really have much to talk about. We just wanted to show you the new gear. But here's the thing. Stay tuned. We're going to show you the interview with Jesse Goldberg-Strassler coming up after this. Again, very informative, and we'll definitely give you a rundown of what prospects you can expect to come up through the system. Again, Lansing's the low-A affiliate for the Toronto Blue Jays, so you can kind of, we're going to be looking at 3 to 4 years, if not more, to see any of these guys, but there's some studs down there. So stick around, and we'll run that for you right next.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, guys, we are back. As promised, we have with us Jesse Goldberg-Strassler. He is the broadcasting announcer for the Lansing Lugnuts, the low-A affiliate for the Toronto Blue Jays. I want to welcome you to the show, Jesse. How long have you been broadcasting for Lansing?
I joined the Lansing Lugnuts in 2009, so our opening day starter was the teenager Henderson Alvarez that year.
Oh, yes. Now he's well under his way past... where is he now? He's in Florida, I believe, is he not?
I think he's working his way back in AAA. Isn't he now in the Oakland Athletic system with Nashville?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Now, you've been doing the Lansing Lugnuts for how long again?
So since 2009.
Okay.
And I've been in broadcasting minor league baseball since 2005.
Wow. And before that, before Lansing, where were you? Where were you at?
So I came out of the state of Maryland. 2005, I was in Brockton, Massachusetts in independent baseball. 2006, 2007 in the AA Southern League with the Tampa Bay Rays affiliate in Montgomery, although then they were the Devil Rays. So I got to see Evan Longoria and Wade Davis coming up. And then 2008 with the independent Windy City Thunderbolts just a little bit south of Chicago. And then I joined the Lugnuts in 2009.
Yeah, actually, I did print off your resume here, so just give me a second here. It says you do quite a few things. You're with the Lansing Lugnuts since 2009. You're with the curator for the Michigan Baseball Hall of Fame. Lead broadcaster for the Central Michigan University women's basketball team. Also co-host of the Pep Rally Sports Talk Radio or a Sports Talk show. And quite a number of list of other things here. Where do you find the time to do all these things?
I mean, things need to get done, so they get done.
Right. Now, it says also you're a member of the STAA, which is the Sportscaster Talent Agency of America. And how long ago was you were inducted there?
Oh, I joined them. I don't even remember how long ago I joined them. Maybe I joined them 2011, 2012, around about there.
Okay. And where did you go to school for broadcasting?
I went to Ithaca College, a Division III university in central New York. Ithaca is on the South Hill, and then Cornell University is on the East Hill. Very comparable institutions, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit to the south of Syracuse. It's in the foothills of New York alongside Lake Cayuga and the Finger Lakes. Just a gorgeous area.
Yeah. Now, another aspect of your career, you also are an author. You've published two very, very popular and widely accepted thesauruses. Can you explain about the baseball thesaurus and the football thesaurus?
You're very kind. Thank you. The baseball thesaurus came about when I was a young broadcaster in '05, and I realized that I was using all the same words to describe everything. So every single baseball was hammered. Every single runner rounding the bases was dashing. And I decided I needed more words to describe it. And from there, I conducted a study into the very language of the game, talking about the hot corner and can of corn and onward, because I'm around baseball players on a daily basis. So I might as well write down the way that they talk about baseball, the way that the coaches do. And so the baseball thesaurus came out, and it sold out, so it's now in its second edition, which I think that print run is disappearing quickly. And that was followed on the heels by the football thesaurus. So cataloging the language of how American football is discussed.
Wow. Now, did you play baseball as a kid?
I played it up until I was about 12 or 13 years old. I was an all-star second baseman.
Okay, what about football? You played football also, I assume?
No, I did not. I played a lot of soccer. I probably played 7 years of soccer. I played a lot of tennis, and I still enjoy playing tennis in my spare time and going ice skating. But on actual teams, organized teams, played baseball up through Little League, and then I stopped because everybody was better. And I played soccer up until high school, and then I stopped because everybody was better. I'm short, I'm weak, I'm slow, and I'm uncoordinated. That is a bad combination. Or a great combination for broadcast.
Very true. Very, very true. Now, Jesse, the reason I wanted to contact you is because, I'll be very honest, you're somebody that has your finger on the pulse of the team in Lansing, has a good idea. Not only that, but I was recommended by Brian Crawford. You know him. He said he'd be a great person to talk to in regard to the team. And I want to get an idea of what kind of prospects, as a Blue Jay fan, that we're looking, getting in the future here. So I'm just going to hit on a few of these players here. Just tell me what your thoughts are on, what you think of some of these guys. First one being Max Pentecost. He is the number 9 prospect in the Blue Jay farm system. He is a catching prospect, but due to the issues with his arm in the past, do you see him staying as a catcher?
I think right now it's too early to tell. So Max, the big thing for him is that he is back and he's playing in real games again after missing all of last year. Getting his time back up there at home plate. What you're seeing from him right now, and I think we were really tantalized by the fact that the very first pitch he saw with Lansing, he rifled an RBI single into right center. And then his second time up, he took a ball, and then he crushed a home run out to right center. And now we're going, all right, here we go. There's the best prospect in the minors for any team in the country.
Yeah,
Max needs time to recover. He is not at 100%.
Yeah.
He cannot wait to start catching again. He's catching side sessions for the Lansing Lugnuts pitchers. So I think it's too soon to forecast too much, but I'm glad to see him back on the field.
Yeah. The Toronto selected him in the first round there back in, I think it was
2014.
2014, yeah. So they did have high hopes for him. So do you see him making the jump rather sooner than later to the next level, or do you see him sticking around for a while?
The big thing is that they're continuing to put him through the program, building up that strength, getting him where they want him to be. And that, I think, is the really good thing about the farm system, that he can come back and get in this time in single A in the Midwest League. And when he's ready to move up, he'll show it.
Yeah.
Because guys who are ready to move up, they dominate this league. We saw Don Harris before his last start. He's dominated. Francisco Rios earned his call up to Dunedin.
Yeah.
So when Pentecost says, you know what, I'm ready, they will move him. But I don't think that there's a lot of urgency to get him to the major leagues, let's say next year.
Yeah.
I think they say, if he continues to progress like this, a couple of years down the line, and learning how to catch from guys like Sal Fasano and Ken Huckabee and more, I think that they see a very bright future ahead for him.
Right, right. Now, seeing the possibility of R.A. Dickey possibly departing, that means Josh Tolley will be leaving. That's going to leave a wide open hole. Now, I'm assuming A.J. Jimenez is the next in line there, but Max Pentecost obviously is going to be the guy they call to go to the next level, I'm assuming. So you see him moving up rather quickly then and not sticking around very often, I assume.
I think he'll dictate his own schedule.
Yeah, 10-4.
I think it's so difficult to tell sometimes with these ball players what levels are going to test them and what levels won't.
Sure.
And I think as Toronto Blue Jays fans well know, that a player can start dominating in A advanced or even double A and move up to triple A. It is very rare that you find a Roberto Osuna who can skip double A and triple A entirely.
Yeah.
By and large, it is better to let that guy crush than triple A. And if Max Pentecost, let's say he shoots on up, and this year he goes Lansing to Dunedin, next year he goes Dunedin to New Hampshire, well, even if he looks really comfortable, he still has things to learn.
Yeah.
Sal Fasano believes that every catcher comes into his own at the age of 27. So Pentecost as a catcher is young.
Yeah.
I love him. I love his future, but I really do think that take your time with him, because if you take your time, he could be really good down the road.
Yeah, as a 23-year-old, he has a long way to go, you're right. And it'd be nice to see him actually get to the next level and just to see what he's worth, you know. Now, another guy I was kind of interested in is another 23-year-old, Andrew, I think it's Giat or Gialotti?
It is pronounced like Fiat, so it's Gia.
Okay, yeah. He's lighting it up. I mean, he's having a great year so far this year. He's doing well. What do you make of him?
Andrew Giat, when you first see him, so he stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He's blonde. He plays like a ball of fury. You bat him right up at the top of the order. Doesn't strike out all that much. Had a couple of home runs right away. I love that he can play all 3 outfield positions.
Yeah.
We played him at second base, and he excelled at second base. He has terrific range, and he has a stronger arm than you think. I love his throwing arm. And at the plate, he figures pitchers out. Yesterday, there was a guy from Baseball Perspective, someone who I respect, who was watching the game. And he noticed that Andrew Giat is having a hard time figuring out the starting pitcher for South Bend's slurve. That slurve was just giving him fit. And he sent this out. He messaged me during an at-bat after Giat swung and missed for strike 1. He said, "It's the slurve, Giat can't get it." Well, Andrew Giat walked that at-bat. He wrote me a message as soon as the at-bat was over, and he said, figured it out.
Yeah, he's a fast learner.
I don't know how high Andrew Giat is going to go, but he's going to get every ounce of ability that he has out of his talent.
Right.
I love him on this team. I would love him on any baseball team as a guy who helps you win.
Yeah, definitely. He's been a great prospect here. Also, I wanted to touch on Sean Reed Foley, number 6 prospect in the Jays farm system. This guy's only 20 years old. This guy's just a kid. What do you make of him?
He has an exceptional arm. So last year, I remember with Reed Foley that they were really working on his mechanics. And he was just out there on the mound trying to throw. And every single time that he would throw the baseball, especially early in the year, it would come out a different way. Well, in the offseason, he really worked. His changeup improved. Now those mechanics are improved, and they're still trying to get some more heft. Left shoulder up and then bring it on down to get that good playing. But Sean Reed Foley's curveball is coming around. He's got a short slider that is sharp. And his fastball velocity, when he's feeling good, he'll work 92, 93, 94, and he'll touch 96, 97.
Wow,
and I think there's still more velocity to come.
Wow.
Last year, he was 6'3 and 230. I think he slimmed down some of the baby fat, and now he's down to 6'3", 220, and now he's going to start to add more muscle.
Yeah.
Reed Foley sees himself as the kind of big, burly, intimidating guy I'd compare to a Kurt Schilling as a starter, and as a reliever, I'd look at a Jonathan Papelbon or a Wade Davis, where he gets out there on the mound with a scowl, with tattoos, with who knows what kind of facial hair he'll come up with, and he's up there to challenge the batter. And he is still so young.
Yeah.
His talent, his ceiling is high.
Yeah. Yeah, the Jays were really high on him. They got him in the second round in 2014, so that would be almost considered to be a steal, would it not?
The feeling with those young ball players is, how strong is their commitment to college? Do you think Sean Reed Foley is going to go to Florida State or not? How much money is it going to take to sign him? So that's why when the draft occurs, I ignore it until the signings come in.
Right.
Because I do not want to get too high on a guy, and then the Blue Jays can't ink him to a deal.
Right.
But after he signs, then you can start to dream on him.
Yeah. So how long do you think he makes the jump, do you think? You think he's about 4 or 5 years away yet?
To make it to the major leagues, well, let's look at this schedule for him. Midsummer this year, he is going up to Dunedin, if not sooner. He'll finish this year in Dunedin. Next year, judging upon how he comes out of spring training, maybe he starts the year in Dunedin and he finishes the year in Double-A, which puts him the next year right in Buffalo-Toronto territory.
Yeah, perfect. Angel Perdomo. I like this kid. I know he's kind of further down on the ranks here. They say he's the number 12 prospect. I think this guy is just fantastic from what I've seen of him. Very electric pitcher. What do you make of him?
So Angel Perdomo. Angel Perdomo is now 6'7", 240 pounds.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the conversation with Brian Calloway, with Brian Crawford, where it was asked about his height and his weight, and Brian was right on the money. He said he's taller than 6'6". He's up to 6'7" now, and I think he weighs more than 200. And Brian was right on the money. I went to talk with our strength and conditioning man, and he said that Angel is now working at 240 pounds. He is strong, he is big, and he has all arms and legs, and batters have a hard time seeing it. When you couple that with the depth that he is getting on his slider, with the fact that he is eating up both left-handed and right-handed batters, you are on the cusp of something that I think that not too many folks knew coming into this year. Maybe they had heard the name. Maybe they were thinking, oh, he's big, so maybe he throws really hard, and we'll see if there's anything else.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to him, and the league is batting well beneath 200 against him for good reason.
And
South Bend Cubs have the best offense in our league, and they couldn't touch him the first time.
I was actually looking at those stats, and I didn't have any idea that his weight had jumped so high. Brian and I did have a discussion in regard to that. Now, is that a healthy 240? He seems like that seems incredible. They have his weight listed here as 6'6", 200 pounds.
What I would take from that is that was probably his signing height and weight.
Jesus.
And now it's been a while since he's signed. It's been several years in the minor league organization, and they don't update the height and weight the entire way through.
Yeah.
Usually the height remains the same. But I remember Juan Kelly joined us at 5'11", 150, and I showed it to him, and Juan goes, not 150. I think right now he's about 210, 215.
Jesus. Yeah, like I said, that's a kid that I'm very excited about. Now, probably the most excited about is, you touched on it earlier, is John Harris. I think this guy is fantastic. What do you see in his future, and how long do you think he makes the jumps?
I think that's a really great conversation to go back a bit about who's the better prospect between Reed Foley and Harris. Because one, you've got your fireballing high schooler, and then you've got your polished college guy with 4 pitches with a heck of a curve.
Yeah.
And take your pick. So John Harris right now, and he has suffered through a rough outing yesterday, and I think the big key to that was he simply didn't have his fastball command. I would rather judge the 6 starts before it rather than 1 start yesterday.
Definitely, yeah.
Fastball is right now 92, 93, touching 94, 95.
Yeah.
Curveball is awesome. He's got some sharp movement on it. It's a legitimate out pitch. He throws it, batters are frozen, they're done. Like what I'm seeing from his slider so far, and I like what I've seen from his changeup at various starts this year. He's got 4 pitches. He's working to sharpen them up. And when batters reach base against him, yesterday excluded, it's over. With runners on, I think it was something like 3 for 52 entering play yesterday.
Jesus, wow, impressive, very impressive numbers. What's the holdup? I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but Rios gets promoted very quickly. How come Harris didn't get the jump also?
Because Rios was ready before John.
Okay.
Francisco Rios, well, let's go back to John. His great-grandmother passed away, and so for a couple of weeks he was on the temporarily inactive list.
Oh, okay, no.
And during those couple of weeks, Francisco Rios destroyed it. Once again, we're talking about a 4-pitch pitcher with polish, with a heck of a curveball. I love his breaking stuff, and his fastball is right there, exactly where John's is, 92, 93, touching 95. Dunedin needs a starter, and we know that John Harris has it down the road.
Yeah.
This is before his consecutive 7-inning, 11-strikeout performances.
Yeah.
Rios was pitching better, San Francisco on up, and you know that John Harris is going to get the call eventually, just like Sean Reed-Foley. No rush. Dunedin can thank us later because Francisco Rios has earned that trip. Last time out, 9-inning complete game? I think he's doing just fine.
So here's another guy here that I find very, very intriguing. Starlin Surreal. This kid is on fire. Can you explain about what's his deal?
So Starlin Surreal was signed as a minor league free agent, international free agent, I should
international
say,
signing,
out of the Dominican Republic. And he was signed at a later age than everybody else, signed later than you would expect. So he comes out, and in his professional debut, they assign him all the way to Vancouver. He moves to Vancouver, and, I mean, we're not talking Gulf Coast League, Dominican Summer League, Bluefield. From Vancouver, on us with Miguel Castro and with Alberto Tirado and with Jairo Laborde, it is Surreal who got the call-up immediately to Lansing first. So he joins us in 2014, pitches fine. 2015, we start him as the number 2 starter in the rotation, but he got worn down to the end of last year and his velocity dropped. They're trying to get that velocity back up. This is a prospect-laden pitching staff this year, so Surreal is in the bullpen as a multi-inning guy. And every time he goes out there to the mound, he is eating batters a lot. Change looks great. Break he can't touch. He gets swings and misses. He gets swings and misses by a couple of feet. Every now and then he gets bitten by the home run ball, but aside from that, it's just zeros. They go 0 for against him. So I love when he comes in because I understand it's going to go quick. Starlin Surreal is going to put up another goose egg.
Now, we talked about Rios earlier, and you had a good look at him before he got promoted. What did you think of him?
I think Francisco Rios is a lot more polished than people know.
Okay.
And now they're starting to hear of him because I don't believe I saw him on any of those prospect lists entering play this year.
No, not at all.
Fastball's in the mid-90s. 92, 93, touching 95. Probably he can add ticks to that velocity. Curveball is awesome. Slider is really looking good, too. I love that slider breaking low and away, getting right-handers to chase. Changeup is the pitch that was coming along, but it's not holding him back. He's pitching deep into games. I mean, on a nightly basis with Dunedin, he's gone 7 innings or 9 innings. And he's smart, and he's a great character guy. He's just another Blue Jays pitching prospect.
Yeah.
I think this organization does a heck of a job at developing young pitchers.
Yeah, it's interesting how all we hear about is how bare the cupboards are in the minor leagues, but yet we have such a strong contingent of kids in Lansing right now.
Well, the people who say that the cupboard is bare, I worry that is too much talk during the off season. And I think it's much more fun to talk while the games are actually going on. It's the same reason you'll hear about a player getting overrated or underrated. When there's nothing happening, then you can read about what his stuff is.
Yeah.
It's much more fun to be seeing what is happening while the games are occurring.
Right.
Or in June, July, how is he pitching? How is he adjusting to the league around him?
Yeah.
But last year, there were a lot of guys traded away. Hoffman got traded away, and Miguel Castro, and Daniel Norris, and Matt Boyd, Jairo Laborde, Alberto Tirado, Nick Wells, Jimmy Cordero.
Yeah.
That's a lot of guys to take out of a minor league organization.
Yeah.
But they're replenishing. Ryan Barucki bombed out in high A Dunedin. Come back to Lansing. He looks tremendous.
Yeah.
It's a 6'4" left-hander who can throw in the mid-90s with awesome changeup and awesome slider.
Yeah.
So if Baraki gets right where he wants to be, where I think he's on pace to do so, there's another great pitching.
Another one. Now here's another guy. This guy might be a little bit old for the league. He's a 24-year-old. You probably know who I'm talking about. Dusty Isaacs. This kid's another one. He's an incredible control guy. 28 strikeouts, 3 walks, over 22 innings, an 0.77 whip. I mean, 1.23 ERA. These incredible numbers. And again, another great pitching prospect. These guys here, I think we should be kind of not rushing them through, but kind of just seeing what their mettle is and seeing, how well they would go if they, go up another level and see how well they can do that way. Do you see that as somebody that can benefit down the road for the Blue Jays?
Well, I want you to understand, too, that ERA that you just mentioned, that is up. It was at 0.0 until his last appearance.
Wow.
He had gone 16 appearances out of the pen, and he allowed 1 unearned run. Then he got hit around a little bit by the Fort Wayne Tin Caps, gave up a home run, a single, and another home run. And those are the 3 earned runs that he's allowed this year.
Wow.
And he recovered to strike 2 guys out because Dusty strikes guys out. He's a fastball slider guy who's captain of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets baseball team. He's got a great head on his shoulders. And it's really good to have a veteran presence at the back of the bullpen just to steady the younger guys down.
Yeah.
I love having Dusty on this team.
Yeah.
And if he gets called up to Dunedin tomorrow, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, he's definitely somebody that I think that's completely under the radar. Speaking of under the radar, what are some other prospects that you can think of off the top of your head right now that are kind of flying under the radar right now?
Patrick Murphy. Murphy is a 20-year-old right-hander who was a third-round draft pick in 2013. He's got a fastball in the mid-90s, can touch 95 to 96, has a 12-6 curveball, hooks its way right on down, a curve that you want to see.
Yeah.
He's just getting back from being healthy. It's so good to have him healthy. Maybe he'll get moved down to Vancouver. Maybe he'll stick with us. But his arm is something special.
Now, you're not concerned about the control issues with Murphy?
Nope, because he's barely pitched. It's the same thing with Max Pentecost. When you're coming back from injury, I'm not going to judge a guy after a couple of weeks or even a month. Colton Turner last year was coming back from Tommy John.
Yeah.
And he told me it took all the way until July or August for him to finally feel good again. And Turner this year has not allowed a run. Not with Lansing, not with Dunedin. He's 25, and yet because he's a guy at those 93, 94, and he's a left-hander, he's going to rise if he keeps on pitching like this.
Definitely.
Murphy is just coming back, and I guarantee you he's still thinking about his body, thinking about, how am I feeling? Am I feeling okay? When he stops thinking about his body, just starts throwing the baseball.
Yeah. What's your make on DeGraff?
Josh DeGraff is a sinker baller with a slider and a heck of a changeup out of Taylor University. Another guy with a good head on his shoulders. He's been awesome in our bullpen.
Yeah.
And every now and then he gets hit around because he leaves the baseball up. They're working with him to keep it down. But a sinker-slider guy with a changeup, a lot of times you'll hear about a sinker-slider guy pitches to contact. He's just trying to throw that sinker and get ground outs. Like that DeGraff gets strikeouts. He gets swings and misses because of his secondary stuff. And he's worth keeping an eye on down the road.
Perfect. Well, Jesse, I sincerely want to thank you for taking the time to do this. Just want to ask you a couple more questions about guys that you probably have no idea about, or sorry, I shouldn't say no idea, but you don't really see them. Vlad Guerrero Jr., number 5 prospect in the Jays farm system. And what do you make on him?
I have heard stories about Vladdy Jr. I have heard that if he was given to Lansing, maybe he'd scuffle a little bit. And yet he would immediately be one of the top prospects in the Midwest.
He's 16.
They love his bat. Probably he'll go to Bluefield. If he hits in Bluefield, he's going to Vancouver. They think he is really something special as a hitter. I've heard nothing but the legend of Vladdy Jr.
Yeah.
And I've heard that everybody calls him Junior. He wants to be called Junior. I've heard he's great.
Yeah, I'm excited for what he brings. As a 16-year-old, we have a long ways to wait. Now, another guy, one last one here. Sorry again to take up all your time, but Justin Mays. Am I saying that correctly?
I don't know. So when a guy hits the Lugnuts, I get to actually have him say his name to me, and then I'll go from there. So with Justin, I have heard once again that he too has a special right on. And I've heard that Justin and I've heard that Hansel Rodriguez are probably the next 2 pitchers to watch out for coming their way up. That those two, combined with Patrick Murphy as the third, not too many people know about that big three. And Justin's name got out as a high draft pick last year.
Yeah.
The big Texan fireballer. I've heard he's really good.
Yeah, 19-year-old throwing 97 mile an hour. Like, and in the Gulf Coast League, he was 5-0, 101 ERA, 20 Ks, 6 walks, 1.065 whip. I mean, put up phenomenal numbers in the rookie league. Just somebody that I think that would be, a great fit for Lansing soon enough here. But
well, this is the fun of short season leagues opening up, is we'll start to see all those prospects and even guys who you don't know about yet, but the organization is high on. When they get those assignments to Bluefield and Vancouver, they will have their own stages to shine on.
Yeah.
And if they excel, they're moving.
So it's safe to say that the future is not as bleak as everyone's talking about in Toronto then.
No, I think people need to relax. And I mean that in both ways. For example, there are great prospects here. But at the same time, let's say Max Pentecost tomorrow goes 4 for 4 and hits 4 home runs. He's not ready to play catcher for the Blue Jays the very next day.
Yeah.
These guys need some time to work their way up through the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Who knows how long they'll get there, but I really trust the folks who are entrusted here, the coaches and the Rovers, in cultivating their talents. The Blue Jays have some really great Rovers and coaches.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Jesse, again, I want to thank you for your time. And, guys, I just want to let you know you can reach Jesse on Twitter at jgoldstrass. That's JGOLDSTRASS. That's on Twitter. And, Jesse, can you tell us where you can pick up the Baseball Thesaurus and the Football Thesaurus books?
You know what? Do this. Google August Publications. Buy them right from the publisher's website. And there's Amazon.com and Amazon.ca, which should have it.
Perfect.
But just in case, I would go to August Publications, and you can buy them right from the publisher.
Perfect, Jesse. Well, thank you very much, and I hope to be able to check in with you later on down the road just to get a new update from you in the future, if that's good with you.
I think that sounds good. I think by July, we'll have a whole new Lugnuts team.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be talking about guys like Carl Wise and Lane Thomas.
Oh, I'll be checking in with you for sure. Well, thanks so much, man. You have a great day.
Thank you very much, and you too.
10-4. Bye-bye.